What's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead Q&A video. This will be part 3 to my Walking Dead Q&A before season 4, the second half series of videos. First question from Poster Boy is, Trev, since all women shave their armpits and legs in the apocalypse, where death and sickness is all around, razors must be more valuable than ammo, and sex supposedly not really going around for everybody, do you think that women and men are grooming their less visible parts? Wow, best question ever. I think for that one, I'm not the right person to ask. I suggest you forward that one to Norman Reedus through his Twitter. He's doing a Q&A, an hour, I believe an hour or 2 hours before the premiere of episode 9. So please, somebody, one of you, it doesn't have to be Poster Boy, but one of you, please ask Norman Reedus that question through his Twitter for his Q&A just before the start of season 4, second half, episode 9. Like I said, he'll be on an hour, so that one's definitely a good one. Please ask him. I'm sure all the ladies would love to hear that one and love to know the answer for that one. Oh, great question. Excellent question. Also, I wanted to say before I get into any others that the other day I did the personal Q&A and I did the whole flexing thing. I want to apologize for anybody who took that the wrong way. It was not intended to be, chauvinistic or for me to be showing off or anything like that. It's just that people troll me like crazy. And if I say something simple like, oh yeah, I work out or whatever, then people start calling you out on it. Trev, you don't look like you work out at all. And stuff like this. So please don't take that the wrong way. That was more of an anti-troll response type thing. I don't have a problem with some of the things trolls say, but when you say something totally ridiculous to the point where it's like, I can prove you wrong in 3 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I maybe came across a little bit of a jerk in the hand motion I made afterwards. That was directed towards people that were talking shit, that don't know me, don't really know what I look like in real life, aside from the web camera. And you got to understand, this thing is zoomed in. Like, this is on my desk right in front of me in widescreen. So it makes me look a little bit wider than I actually am in real life. I'm not fat, I'm not overweight or anything like that. I also said I weighed 180, and next thing you know, you got people coming out of the woodwork saying, I really highly doubt you weigh 180, Trev. It's like, why would I lie about that? Do I have to take a freaking scale, stand on it, and record it with a damn web camera to prove to you guys? Like, is it just in society now we do not believe anything anybody else has to say? No matter what somebody says, we just think they're full of shit automatically. Even though, like, I'm a really honest person, I don't lie. I hardly ever lie, only if I have to. I try not to, but there's no reason for me to lie about any of this kind of stuff. I'm being honest here and open. So anyway, I don't want to offend anybody or anything like that. It wasn't directed towards my cool subscribers. It was directed towards the subscriber trolls that want to talk shit and tell me I'm fat or I'm this or whatever when I'm clearly not, especially for my age, 27, and what I weigh and what I can lift and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I won't talk about it anymore. Last time I'll touch on it, but apology to everyone else who was offended by that. Didn't mean for that. It was directed towards the subscriber trolls. Anyway, let's continue because I'm enjoying these Q&As. I think a lot of people are enjoying them as well too. So I'm going to continue doing them. It's good because I can't do videos on a lot of these questions individually. They're just not good enough. But if I put a few of them together, then I have enough to create a pretty good video from. So next question. Here, Trev, this is a good topic. If they ever kill Rick off, who would lead? So who would lead the group? Who is most likely to lead? Who do you think has the best leadership skills? Well, that's a really good question. It depends when they do it. If they were to kill Rick off right now, I would have to say that I would think Daryl would take charge because he's kind of already been shown in season 4 as like a leader, in and of his own right anyway. Like when they went to get the medication for everybody when they were all sick at the prison, Daryl took charge of that, and he was the one that went off and called the shots. So I think Daryl would be a great leader. Plus, he's so tough and hard to kill that he'll lead by example because he's such a good survivor that everybody else would start trying to be like him. and it would just make the group stronger overall, I would think, to learn from him and his way, which is different than Rick's, but, he's definitely a strong survivor and could definitely teach the others how to survive really well also, even though he's kind of a loner, but I think he's become more open now that over time, that type of thing. So I think Daryl will be next in charge. Who else aside from that? Glenn, Glenn, I don't know. I wouldn't really, I don't know. I guess he could. Carl down the road definitely will be able to, but it's going to be a while, I think, because he's still really, really young. He's like an early teenager, that type of thing. So he's got a while, and from the women, I think that actually, as bitchy as Sasha is, I think she might be someone that could call the shots, and Tyrese, of course, too could. Tyrese would be one up there just with Daryl because he had his own group before too, even though half of them were jerks. But so there's a good amount of people that could do it, or maybe they could do like a democracy committee type thing like they did at the prison, that type of thing again, council or whatever. And there's others too as well too. Not Michonne because she's tough, but she's too introverted. She's not extroverted enough, I don't think, to be a strong leader, but she's a tough survivor. I think Daryl could, though. So my first pick would be Daryl, and then I think Tyrese, and then maybe Sasha, Glenn, and then there's others as well, too. Carol is pretty good, too, as well. I could see her leading her own group, too, now. A lot of the characters, as they've survived over time, they become so tough that I think a lot of them could, lead their own group. Most of them are smart enough in that world now to be able to do it, I would think. Okay, next question. Trev, could you do a general video on the evolution of Daryl as a character from season 1 to present? That's a really good one. I probably will because Daryl is such a popular character, like a character spotlight type thing on the evolution of Daryl. So thanks for the suggestion. I think I will do that, separate video on that. I won't talk about that now because he's changed a lot, and that's something I could go into detail quite a bit with Merle and everything and how we met him originally. Definitely an interesting topic, and he's evolved a lot, from the time we first meet him until now, definitely a lot, so that's cool. Next question is, where would you like to see the spin-off series take place? Great question. Where would I like to see it take place? Let's see. Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities for what they could do with the spinoff. It's got to be someplace that's a lot different from where the current one is. I want to see a different environment. I want to see a different landscape. I wouldn't want to see like a Georgia, type landscape with, there's a lot of forests. Like we've had a lot of, forestry. You've got roads that are not too busy. You don't have many highways in the current Walking Dead where there's the prison, there's all the woods around it, and this type of town, type Woodbury Township type things. I'd like to see like a heavily populated area, like a major city like Atlanta again. Do something like London, England. London would be perfect to do. That's why I like 28 Days Later a lot. It's a really interesting location to see because it's so heavily populated. London, New York, maybe Chicago. Chicago would be cool. Maybe Detroit. I would like to see Detroit just because it already looks like a zombie. It already looks like a zombie apocalypse as it is. You wouldn't even have to do much in terms of set design. You just got to go to the right places in Detroit. There you go. You're done. It'd be really cheap to film there. So Detroit would be cool. Let's see, where else? I mean, here in Canada, there's some different cities that I think would be cool to see, like Vancouver, maybe an island or something. That would be interesting to see, like an island type scenario, or Toronto's a good place. There's lots of places, but it can't be somewhere that's anything like, where we're at now in the original series. The environments that we've seen outside of Atlanta and where they film in Georgia and everything, want to see something totally different. Want to see completely different than that. And the more different it is, the better. So I think my top few choices would be Detroit, London, maybe New York, Chicago, those types of cities that are really dense in people, a lot of apartment buildings and stuff like that. That would be cool to see some characters living in like a huge skyscraper type, building or something. That would I think that would be really, really interesting to see as a different environment. So that would be very cool. Right, and next question, Trev, do you think Rick will ever find love again? Tricky topic, tricky question. So I did say that I kind of would start getting into these. I mean, that's one I wouldn't do a whole video on, so this is a good question for a Q&A. Yeah, I think definitely, especially in a TV series, in a TV series like this, they're going to want to have a love interest for most of the characters because, and also too, in a zombie apocalypse, it would be realistic. You've got life or death type situations. You could have people leaning on each other, saving each other. I mean, they're gonna fall for each other pretty quickly because they're saving each other's lives. They're supporting each other like crazy, and they're surviving together. So relationships are going to happen. I think for Rick, they're going to wait a while. I don't think we're going to see it soon. Probably in a couple seasons. He's still like Lori is still relatively fresh for us. Maybe season 5, season 6, 7. I'd say probably 6 or 7. So it'll be a while, but I think we will see a love interest for Rick. Who's it going to be? I don't know if it's going to be anybody who's on the show right now. I did a video earlier talking about the possibility of Michonne and Rick because it seemed like from some of the earlier episodes there might be something there. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to go that route. I think it would be good if they did because they're both really cool characters, really strong survivors, and it would make sense. So that's one possibility. I don't think they're going to do that yet, though, if they ever do. Andrea is dead, obviously, in the TV series, so she's not there for Rick to, become a love interest with her. Carol's with Daryl type thing, or seemingly so, but they don't want to show it because they don't want to turn off all of the female Daryl worshippers. But I'm sure we're going to meet somebody that will get along well with Rick. Probably not Lily or Tara because, Lily was with, well, obviously not Tara. Lily was with the governor previously, so I don't think they're going to do anything with her. She might not even return to the series at all. Her purpose is kind of already fulfilled. So I think it's going to be somebody that's not currently with the group right now, to be honest with you. It could be Michonne. She might be the most likely right now, but I think they're going to bring in some new characters later, and we're going to see somebody out of that to become a love interest for Rick later on in the series. Not right now. It's not the right time, I don't think. Maybe season 7, season 6, something like that. So good question. Next question is, what celebrities not from The Walking Dead would you want with you in a zombie apocalypse? Oh, this is a good question. Chuck Norris, of course. Chuck Norris for sure. Hulk Hogan. Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be good. He's old now, though. Let's see. Christian Bale, one of my favorites. Like big Batman fan. You could use him for interrogations too. If you catch members from other groups, you could just have him, wear the bat suit and interrogate him. Where's your camp setup at? Or maybe like Arnold, because I just want to see him kill zombies. So there's a lot of different ones. I did one talking about a video a long time ago, like in season 3, which was called My Ultimate Zombie Survival Team. So if you guys want to hear more about that type of topic of who I'd want to see, I picked 5 characters and put them all together in a zombie apocalypse. Check it out. It's in the channel. Just go to the channel, type in Ultimate Zombie Survival Team. You should find it, something of the sort, and you should find the old video. It's a good video. It's fun, and it's a good topic, so that's something I've already kind of covered anyway. Next, are they going to go back to Herschel's farm in the TV series? That's a good question. I mean, in the comic book series, they do. There's some people that have done analysis of the preview clips, and they said that they think the building that's burning behind Beth is the farm. I don't know about that, if that's the case. I haven't looked into that. I've heard a few things like that, but I haven't actually seen any pictures myself or clips myself where I was like, oh yeah, that's the farm. They've gone back to the farm. The thing with the farm is, in the TV series, we already spent a whole season there, all of season 2. So it's pretty stale at this point. I don't know if they would really want to go back there again because we've already all seen it. I'd like to see a new location or something. Maybe even burnt down Woodbury or something like that would be more interesting, I think, than the farm. So I hope not, but they might. Some of the characters might. Maggie and Glenn and Beth, that would make sense for a possible meet-up location, even though they don't know where each other are going, for them all to kind of go there. So it makes sense, but I hope they don't. I guess we'll see what happens with that. Next question. Who would win, Bob versus Carol? Oh, Carol would kick his ass. Oh, for sure. Carol would smash him right now. I mean, just mainly because he's not a strong survivor from what we've seen. Every time a walker comes at him, and he's depending like at the big spot there and everything, he doesn't seem to me like a strong survivor like Carol. Carol will do what's necessary, and she's good with knives. I think she's probably even a better well, maybe not a better shot because he was in the military, but she'll pull the trigger and he will stall. That's all there is to it. He'll stall and she'll go for it. So I would have to go with Carol on that, absolutely. Next question, what do you think will happen when the TV show gets past the comic books? That is a loaded question. That's one I could talk about for an entire video. In fact, I think I may have done that already. I don't remember. I do so many Walking Dead videos every day for years that I've forgotten some of the ones I've even done before. It's true. It's true. I think I've done that, though. But yeah, eventually it's going to become a problem. We're going to see it happen. And search the channel if you want to see a whole video talking about it. But basically, I think they're going to just go their own direction completely. The comic book series with Robert Kirkman has a direction they're going, and I think they're going to choose a new direction for the TV series and go somewhere else. Maybe a different actual living location, different new characters, completely different set of circumstances, and the writers for the TV series will have a lot more work to do than they do now, I think, because they won't be able to adapt it. They'll have to create it. Granted, they're going to do that with the new spin-off series anyway, so we're going to see that sooner or later anyway, but definitely I think they're going to go their entirely own direction with it. And I think in terms of time, that's probably good enough for this Q&A session. Just like last one, let me know what you guys think. I've done 3 of these now just based on The Walking Dead. I am enjoying them. I'm thinking about continuing doing more, but I want to hear what you guys think. If you like the video, please like it below, and write in the comments if you have any other questions so I can add them. And if I get enough good ones, I will go ahead and continue to do the Q&As if you guys want me to. Please let me know if you want to see me continue with these. I could probably do one of these every few days, once a week, that type of thing, depending on how many questions I get. So let me know what you guys like, what you think, and yeah, any other suggestions you have, please send them to me. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev. I'm saying peace.